wow, radio is really gonna advance, hasn't it? Since
we are
25 years ago.
We are going on Facebook Live, so that's our camera right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you see anybody there that you want, hey, so and so saying hi to us, feel free to feel free to dive.
All my Denton friends.
All your Denton friends. Okay, and I'm going to do a quick intro for Thin Line.
You're lucky too. You got me really exhausted. That should be good.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I'll do a quick intro and then I'll introduce you, Ian. What was that?
This is film gold.
Right. Just sitting here. Oh, at the end of one of yesterday's, he didn't turn the camera off. The audio was off, but the camera was still rolling. And so I was rewatching it today at the end, and we're just sitting here just chatting away. And I thought, wow, I'm really aggressive because I kept pointing at the guy that I was interviewing. His name is Al, and I just kept pointing at him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we've got this conversation going on. You hear no sound, and I'm like, that looks kind of aggressive.
It's always in the it's always in those extra stuff.
Right.
You know, you don't stop the camera until you're absolutely sure. You never know what you might find. It might save you in the editing too.
That's true.
Give you something to cut to.
Good afternoon, Dentonites and Denton Nation. Thank you for joining us again. We are coming at you live in the DentonRadio.com studio in the Discover Denton Welcome Center. We're really excited because Thin Line kicked off officially last night, and we've got several days left to go. So Thin Line continues through the 23rd. Make sure that you visit thinline.us to get a full schedule. Today, we're talking about one of the shorts that will be at Thin Line, and that's going to be today.
At 5.
At 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Ian, fresh off the plane,
Mm-hmm.
jet setter.
All the way from Toronto.
All the way from Toronto. So, Ian, I think that you've always been a writer then. You're the writer, the director for Conspiracy, which is one of the shorts. And it's about a man attempting to solve the JFK assassination in his home.
Yeah, in his very tiny apartment.
Very tiny apartment.
Which just happens to be my apartment.
Okay. It was, so tell me a little bit about where this was filmed, because I thought it was filmed here in Denton.
Parts of it were. I was filmed at last year's film festival. I came down here, and of course, I'm sort of a lover of the conspiracy theories behind the assassination, and so one day I took the train downtown and I brought my camera with me, as I always did, and I just shot some stuff. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it, but I shot some stuff, made sure I was in it, because I'm always starring my own films because I'm always available. And then I don't charge a lot.
You're easy to work with.
Yeah. And so I did it here, and then when I got back home, I tried to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. And in the process of it, a lot of what I shot, I ended up not using it because I think it was more comedic to begin with, and it ended up not comedic at all, actually. And so the parts in my apartment are actually shot in Toronto.
Oh, wow. So we've got a mixture of Denton and Toronto. I'm not going to tell you what you're going to see in there because it's a short, and if I give too much away, I've given way too much away. But
yeah, it's like 7 minutes long.
They're very entertaining. I have to say that very entertaining. I was very entertained. I definitely enjoy history. I have been sucked into the conspiracy theories over the JFK assassination. Sure. Tell me about this character. What made you? What helped you create this character?
Well, I mean, because it's me, you can't say it's not me. I guess it's sort of like the everyman guy who tries to solve the JFK, and then you realize that every theory has flaws and none of them are good. they're all a little bit flawed in the end, right? Yeah,
mm-hmm.
you know, and none of them quite work, and the frustration that's associated with trying to solve it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't really. I mean, it's 50 years ago. It's often history and everything like that. And so that's sort of what the character is. And somebody always said all my films seem to have lonely hermit guy in them. This apartment. And I go, well, that's sort of me, I guess. I live in my apartment, and people say, "Oh, shoot in your apartment." I go, well, again, I don't have to get a release or anything like that.
There's no overhead charge for it.
Yeah, if you're a follower of my work, you know every inch of that place.
Well, and I was going to mention that some of your work. So there's one in particular that is this you? I just want to make sure this is you.
Yeah.
This is you, right? Because let's see. I've always been a writer right from the time I first picked up a crayon.
Is that me?
Is that you? Have you always been a writer?
That's absolutely, sure, yeah. I mean, you can read my report cards from grade 1, and they talk about that.
I can imagine you in, elementary school, Ian. What was that like?
Well, that was it. I was writing stories back then.
Right.
Absolutely, it was always something. And of course, I got into journalism. But as a journalist, I really wasn't that too interested in interviewing people all the time. I wanted to just write about films and movies and stuff like that.
Tell us a little bit about some of your past work. What other things? What other projects that you worked on?
Well, I mean, a lot of Canadian comedy shows I worked on. I've done documentaries. I did a documentary on the guy who coined the word sci-fi, Ferris Ackerman. People might know him. I worked with a show I created up in Canada called Biography.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen. Now, people know Leslie Nielsen.
Yes.
So he was wonderful to work with. That was 2000.
Wow.
Yeah, 2000, yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. In Canada, we lasted 26 episodes.
I was going to say,
that wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
We got on the cover of the Canadian TV Guide. Another big, I was in the grocery store. I bought like 25 copies all at once.
Wow. Make sure you.
Well, that's the power of Leslie Nielsen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you've always been a writer. You've always had a knack for this. Tell me a little bit of what brought you into doing this kind of project. If you started writing, what shifted you over to film?
Well, it was kind of a number of things. Both industries in Canada kind of like died out a little bit, like as far as a writer for television, and then journalism, as we all know, print journalism especially.
It's changing.
It made it difficult. I decided at some point, after a few projects I'd been the writer on, you don't have much control as a writer, like none. And I decided that I should make some of these myself, because then if I fail on my own terms, and so that's what I've been doing the last 5 years. I've been making ends meet, doing journalism projects and stuff like that. But on my own, I've been doing films and just sending them out to festivals, and not really with an idea for making a lot of money, because you don't really make a lot of money off these things, but more just for my own satisfaction. I think the same thing when you're in grade 1, when you have to write, you don't know why you have to write, but you have to write. It's the same thing. I just have to, if I see a really good idea, I gotta.
And you elaborate on it.
I gotta do it. Yeah.
So this one in particular, though, you had a lot of equipment. Tell me about your equipment. Oh,
my equipment is like actually filming us right now. That's it
right there. That's it right there.
Well, actually, I'm cast and crew. This is one that I didn't have anybody working with on. I am the entire cast and crew.
So did you just use your camera, or did you use cell phone as well?
No. That's the name of my company, Cell Phone Cinema. That was the way I started out, but then I bought this and I moved up just a little bit.
Interesting.
But the name's so cool, I didn't want to change the name.
Exactly, because it made me think that was some of this filmed on a cell phone, and got me a little excited, because that's what we have in our pockets these days.
Well, I think it, at least in the last few years, I think you almost can now, because the lens on them is now very good. Now, the one I have has a great lens on it where I can zoom in and zoom out, which you can't do quite as well on the cell phone. But it was just a great name, I thought, but I moved on. But not that much.
Not that much.
Because once you start getting money involved, and then you start getting people involved, and then you start losing control, and then it's not fun anymore.
And then that's true.
Yeah, it's a sad story.
It's a lot more fun when you get to call the shots.
Oh yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your company, Cell Phone Cinema. What all do you do? What all do you cover?
The types of films we make? Mostly comedies, documentaries, and mockumentaries. This kind of qualifies as a mockumentary, but you know, in the same way that Blair Witch Project's a mockumentary is. I hate that term. Somebody said it was like they were giving me a new term for it, like it's a sort of comedy, no, a documentary hybrid or something. So, because there's not a lot of laughs in it, but it's not a real documentary. It has documentary elements.
Right.
But what's the line?
So is that what attracted you to Thin Line? Because you were here last year, and have you been here for the? I mean, have you been here
just the last 2 years?
Just the last 2 years. So what attracted you to Thin Line? What? I
think it was something that was in the way they described their festival that seemed like they might be open to something that wasn't quite a documentary, like a straightforward documentary. And they were. I mean, they have a whole program that they show it on. And the one I had last year called Welcome to Parkdale was the same. So, it was very much the same.
So I'm really glad that you came back. What do you think? What do you think about Denton? What are the spots here that you really have enjoyed now that you've had 2 years, or you're going with 2 years?
Well, it's very. I was saying to somebody earlier today that the film I had last year was about my hometown. I'm just on the outskirts of Toronto, called Parkdale. These two towns are very similar, and I said I'm not surprised you I got in your festival now that I've seen the town, because it's sort of like you're in the shadow of something much bigger, but you have your own identity, right?
Yeah.
That's
us.
That's exactly it.
We like to be original and independent.
And I just like everything's on one street.
Oh, wow.
Or almost one street.
Well, we'll have to take you out a little bit more, Ian.
I hear you got a white squirrel too.
Oh, yes.
We got a white squirrel.
Yes, I think that
he might pass one.
Yeah, I believe there's a couple of them, if I'm not mistaken, but one of them did pass away. Let's have another.
Well, they're squirrels. Of course, they pass away.
Yes.
But I only mentioned that because I've just finished a film, an out-and-out comedy mockumentary about the white squirrel in Toronto.
Interesting. Yeah. So maybe we'll see that one next year?
Maybe. I'm actually going to go down to I want to check out I hear you got a white squirrel memorial down on the campus.
Definitely have to go check that out. Make sure that you capture that on film for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
I really appreciate that you made some time, jetted across the nation and made it here for our interview. We're looking forward to watching you guys. There is a short compilation today. This is the Texas premiere, so you don't want to miss that. Definitely. Conspiracy at 5 p.m. today, so you still have time to make it out to Campus Theater.
And it's free.
And it's free. That's right. All you have to do is go to thinline.us and register. So, Ian, again, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you being here. And I think that you guys are going to be surprised. Make sure that you go check this out because, like I said, there's a little bit of Denton in there. I'm not going to give that away. And
if you don't get to it, just drop me a line.
Yes. Well,
Cell Phone Cinema. I'm on the Facebook under Cell Phone Cinema.
Cell Phone Cinema. We'll make sure that we add that into our comments. Make sure that we plug that link in so that if you do miss it, you can reach out to.
Oh yeah, I'll send you a link.
We'll make sure. We'll make sure you get to see it. Don't worry about that. But Ian, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of the town and the rest of the evening here. We'll see you at 5. You will, since he is going to be in attendance, you will have the opportunity for Q&A. You'll be available for Q&A today. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions for Ian, please make sure that you show up and get your questions ready. Give him a hard one.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to solve the assassination of John.
Oh, I think that's what everybody. There went everybody's question, Ian.
I do have a theory.
He has a theory. We can let him share the theory at Q&A today. I think that'd be a good time to share that. Thank you everybody for joining us. Again, thinline.us for a full schedule, and again, Conspiracy will film today in the shorts at 5 p.m. today. Make sure that you check out a full schedule and come back and join us because we've got a lot more coming your way here at DentonRadio.com. All right.
All right.
That was quick and easy.
I love talking about myself.